We start, as we always do, with the weeknight games. We have Maction once again dominating on Tuesday and Wednesday night again this week. And we will begin with Central Michigan, the Chippewas, taking on the Toledo Rockets. We've got Toledo 14.5-point home favorites. The total in this one, 50.5, 51 is the total here pretty much across the board going into this game. The only first thing I'm going to start by saying is you can get this Toledo double-digit favorite bullshit right on out of here. Not interested in it. We have talked about this, Connor Mack and I, for years on this show about how lethal it's been laying double digits with Toledo in this conference. I think last year, you go back to our shows 2 years ago, even 3 years ago when we started this Hitting the Book show. How many times have we said how bad Toledo and specifically head coach Jason Candle is as a double-digit conference favorite? He hasn't been good in this role. He is not someone I trust in this role. Is Toledo the better team? Of course. No question about that. Tucker Gleason, the quarterback, has been solid after they saw DeQuan Finn transfer to Baylor. The defense has been good at times, not so good at others. But really, it's been the offense that's really carried the way for Toledo this year. And Central Michigan's obviously had a tough year, 3-6. The Chippewas are going to have to win out to be bowl eligible. That's not happening probably when you're talking Toledo, Western Michigan, Northern Illinois, their final three opponents. Central Michigan's had a lot of all-around results. They've been blown out in ugly fashion in a couple of games like Florida International early in the year. And yet they also had games where, look, they beat Ball State. They beat San Diego State. They lost by only 2 against Ohio. They get blown out by Miami O, but against one of the better teams in the conference last week, Bowling Green, they get the point spread cover, 16-point dogs. They lose 23-13. It was actually a solid effort from the defense for a change. Although I must admit, was that the defense or was that really the wind? It was a windy, rough weather night last week for a lot of those MAC conference games. So maybe that played a part, in Bowling Green's offense being held down a bit. But that remains, Toledo is just never a team I'm looking to bet in this kind of a price range. So by default, I'm probably looking at Central Michigan here if I'm getting involved at plus 14.5. And like I said, weather and wind kicking up last night or not, we were still able to see Central Michigan do enough to get inside the number, lose by only 10 against a very good Bowling Green team last week. If they can maintain that kind of effort here, they might be in it. They've obviously had a ton of quarterback injuries. They're down to their third and their fourth quarterbacks, Jaden Glasser and Tyler Jefferson. Bert Emanuel's doubtful, and of course they lost Joe Labas for the season due to injury. Yeah. So that's the concern here. If they fall behind, do they have the quarterback play to come back? They're down to their QB3, QB4 because of injuries. But I'm still leaning Central Michigan at this number. C-Mac, what do you think? Central Michigan, Toledo.
Yeah, that's like the big one. And that touchdown late got him in and got the cover last week because it was 23-7. I mean, that's the lone problem here taking them is like the quarterback play. I mean, look at last week with these two guys. I mean, holy shit. I don't know how they're going to be able to throw the ball. I mean, they've had success running it, kind of all year long, and they've had to. They get, average about 185 on the ground. So they're going to have to do that. Toledo's defense has been decent against the run. But this, as you mentioned, Toledo's off a bye here. They've been just, hit and miss. I love fading them 2 weeks ago at Eastern Michigan, laying 10 points on the road. Get out of here. So even at home, they lost to Bowling Green, one of the better teams. They look good. It's Miami, Ohio. But I kind of take that, are they the team from October, September, early October, or lately, the last 3 weeks? I don't know. Yeah, there's just no way I'm laying points with Toledo. This is you just hold your nose here with the dog or nothing. There's just I just can't do it. No way, no how. The record is pretty crazy too. They've had some wins, when they've laid numbers, and most of the time though, it's more of a touchdown or less, Bavano, 5, 7.5. But these numbers just I can't do it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be on Central. I don't know if it'll be a big bet because I'm worried again with the quarterback situation, but I know one thing's for sure. Year after year after year, if you bet against Toledo as a double-digit favorite more in every game, you're going to probably come out ahead. That's the way it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, not every game, but more often than not, they're not a team that's a trustworthy team to cover numbers like this, and we have seen it.
Central's just been bad on the road.
Yeah,
Savannah too. That's a little of the shitty thing. It's like, what do we get? The defense that kind of is okay in some of these games, or it's just been awful and gotten shredded in half the other games. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.